I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Christine. Welcome to FCS Live.
Today we will be discussing a very prevalent matter in our society, domestic violence.
Let's take a few moments to meet some of the professionals that we interviewed in our community.
My name is Greg Bowles. I'm the preaching minister at University Church of Christ.
My name is Maria Franco.
I am a customer service supervisor for Wal-Mart.
An educator. I've been with EPIC for about 18 years now.
My background is I have an undergrad in philosophy and then a master's in philosophy and theology.
I'm the one that takes care of all customer complaints and customer service.
I'm the program director for the Child and Adult Care Food Program.
My day-to-day basis is that I get to preach most weeks on Sunday morning, and then I oversee staff development.
We just make sure that the ladies are following the rules and regulations to have a better, nutritious, and healthy environment for the kids they're babysitting.
I started in the classroom. I taught middle school, and then I became a librarian. I went to an elementary school for 3 years, and then I came to Lincoln for the past 9 years as a librarian.
Now we know domestic violence can be exerted in many forms.
From physical, emotional, sexual, and financial.
Let's take a look at how the professionals we interviewed define domestic violence.
Horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Husband beating a wife. Then it could also include children, verbal abuse or physical abuse.
Anything from a person pushing, hitting, or insulting another person.
It's fundamentally wrong. It's fundamentally wrong because it disrespects a person made in the image of God.
Something that occurs within families that don't communicate well with each other.
Verbal or financial or sexual or physical. All of those would be ways of manipulation, would be causing fear to come into people.
I think for different reasons, money, stress, work, family, I think for different reasons, if it's going to be there, I think it'll be there throughout the entire cycle.
Physical, mental, or psychological abuse of one's person within the family.
Sometimes physically, a lot of times with words.
A lot of things that you say hurt, and you say it out of anger, and you don't realize it, or you do realize it, and it hurts other people.
As a professional, you can never have enough training, especially when it comes to helping a victim get out of a domestically violent situation.
Professional training? Maybe just when I first started teaching.
I would say no with specific domestic violence issues. Now, I've had a decent amount of background in counseling and just engaging people.
I've had a lot of trainings, not through my job, but through school.
Statistics of the amount of people that deal with domestic violence is just off the chart. And it's not getting better, is what most statistics would say. It's getting worse.
I'm going to think it's high. Just because of the education level that we have here, just because of the economy in certain neighborhoods that we have here, I think some people could very easily get into a relationship that's unhealthy and not get out of it for whatever reason.
So what does domestic violence really look like? Let's take a look. Due to graphic nature, viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, honey, I'm home. Is dinner ready? No. I'm just gonna start right as soon as I finish this video. What are you doing? I called you 20 minutes ago and you have nothing ready? I'm starving. What is your problem? I'm sorry.
Her husband would threaten her that he was gonna force her in the car and take her across the border.
Marks on students' bodies.
I've had women show up in my office with black eyes and bruises all over their body, and that's tragic. That's horrific.
These ladies don't think that even if the husband's going through their cell to check their numbers, that's already some kind of controlling issue.
One situation that I'm thinking of is a woman came in here, was slapped around one time, but really what that revealed was that's just the tip of the iceberg to a pattern of abuse sexually and with controlling of finances and different things like that. As I started talking with this woman, the evidence of abuse was just paramount. She had been coming to church for a brief period of time. Her husband at the time did not. He didn't really have any faith association. And we found a place of security for her, and we sought to address issues with him, and he was very combative at first, but then also started to, which was a big step for him, take some recognition of his own sin.
They see their dad or their mom yelling a lot, they think it's normal, and they're going to do it. If I knew or I had a strong feeling that somebody was in trouble, I definitely would go to our school counselors and talk to them. She would probably tell me what agency to call, and then I would definitely call them.
The minute she came into my office and told me that he had pulled her hair, I convinced her to go to the police and get a report and a restraining order.
It's communication with any situation. So if you have a neighbor who you can say, look out for me, somebody who can get you out of the situation. But if you never say anything, how is anybody ever going to know anything that's going on?
We want to try to create a safe environment, and we want to make sure we have a concrete plan on how to get to a better spot.
We need to teach these ladies, that there's safety if they look for it.
I think we did well is go, hey, your experience with a husband and with this man in your life does not reflect God's ideal. It doesn't reflect God's love for you, and is a manipulation of what God desires.
I see people in their 20s doing this. I see people in their 60s and 70s doing this, where the woman gives like the man all the power. They don't know anything about paying the bills. They don't know how to put gas in their car.
You're not his property. You're his wife. You're his partner.
Husbands are to love their wife just as Jesus loved the church, in a sacrificial way of giving himself so that she can be exalted. And that's what a husband is supposed to do for a wife.
It could very easily be her that's abusing him mentally or verbally.
Sometimes it's not just the female being harmed or the kids being harmed. It's also the male.
Sometimes that's the men. Don't think it's always the woman. We've had men come in and they are absolutely being controlled by domineering women in their life.
It was her that would beat him up. In his family, they taught him to respect the woman, and he would never hit back.
I've found customers or families that come in, and I see the wife kind of mellow, kind of quiet all the time, with bruises on her face and arms, and it just makes me think of, would she be a victim of domestic violence?
Changes in their personality, becoming, maybe they were very outgoing and then they started being more sheltered to themselves.
When I would go visit her, that she was always like, even embarrassed to see me, in my face, and she was never dressed up or anything, and I started, earning her trust, and that's when she opened up to me, and it happened that because she was undocumented, her husband had a big control over her. He didn't even let her drive, go out of the house if he didn't take her. So when she's opened up to me, I started telling her, do you know this is domestic violence, and then she said, he's not hitting me. I go, well, he doesn't have to hit you.
How does the spouse respond? Does the spouse kind of cower down? Does the spouse seem like they're thriving? You know, that's what, especially husbands are told, that God gives us a spouse, and we're supposed to present that spouse back to Him at the end of her life, looking more like Jesus, being stronger, being more self-confident and self-aware, accomplishing great things in this world. And if it looks like a spouse, male or female, is not excelling, now I have to wonder why. Like, our spouse is supposed to help us achieve better things. If we're being hindered, then the first person I'm going to look at is the person that's next to them.
You don't know what's going on, so are they hiding it well?
Mm-hmm.
Are you not finding the signs that you should be looking for? Should you be looking harder? It's kind of hard to tell.
We found that the majority of our professionals felt that victims of domestic violence remain in unhealthy relationships. We're wondering why.
Not wanting or not knowing where to get help.
She's not going to be able to find another partner. She's going to be alone, taking care of the kids.
Maybe they're scared. Maybe they don't have a support system where they can talk to somebody. Maybe they don't have an education. Maybe they don't have a job to fall back on. Maybe they're dependent on this person for food and shelter and everything.
She's the one that has to press the charges, and she's the one that has to keep putting her foot down to get away from this person. If she doesn't do that, and she just comes back to that person and keeps taking him back, what good would it be for me to do something else?
I know women that are in awful situations. At this point, it's the choice that they're making to be in those situations. It's not that they haven't had help. It's not that they haven't been given resources. It's that at some point they're choosing to just stay in these destructive places.
When the ladies don't listen to you, and they, oh, he loves me, oh, he does this for me, oh, he brought me flowers, oh, he apologized. That's the hardest thing to me, because if it's already there, it's gonna continue.
She was back with him again within the next 2-3 weeks, back at the same situation. He would change for a little bit, but then he would come back to drinking every day and just physically harming her and the family, the children, and mentally abusing them as well. And it was really just frustrating.
I want to be an ambassador for truth. I want to be an ambassador for the weak and defenseless.
We're the first contact with the students, so it's our responsibility by law to report the child abuse.
I feel that if we're here in this kind of profession that we're dealing with people, no matter what kind of people we're dealing with, we need to be, out there to help.
I'm going to point them to the one that can fix them. I'm going to point them to Jesus, who will be a perfect model of love that protects and honors and is not self-seeking. That's who I'm pointing them to.
You should have more self-respect. Everybody's worth something, and you shouldn't have to live your day scared or sad.
We would like to take the time to send out a special thanks to the interviewees who participated in this week's talk show.
And thank you, the viewer, for watching.
Tune in next week for a special on sexual harassment in the workplace.
We should just exile them all and let them just beat each other up.
Is this going to be shown, Damon? It just went darker. There we go.
I'm getting caught in my dress.
Okay, it's okay.
No, we know domestic violence.
Let me not look at each other. Look at the
You ready to turn it on?
Yeah.
See? Yeah, well, we could cut out pieces, so it's okay.
Opinions on why they wouldn't choose to exit the relationship.
Because they're dumb.
To the viewers for watching.
I forgot.
So Scary.
Yeah.
So you could delete and add and...
So,
Your mom doesn't even have the food ready.
Don't say
I can't believe it lasted 30 minutes.